Wait there. Breaking news. Oh. Breaking news. Ha! Share. You see, Jacob wrestled at Peniel. Jacob wrestled at Peniel. That same night, Jacob got up, took his 2 wives, his 2 concubines, and his 11 children, and crossed the river Jabbok. After he had sent them across, he also sent across all that he owed. But he stayed behind alone. He stayed behind alone. Then a man came and wrestled with him until just before daybreak. When the man saw that he was not winning the struggle, he struck Jacob on the hip, and it was thrown out of joint. The man said, "Let me go, daylight is coming." "I won't unless you bless me," Jacob answered. Verse 27. "What is your name?" The man asked. "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob. You have struggled with God and with men, and you have won. So your name will be Israel." Till verse 28. This is Genesis chapter 32, the verse number 28. Or say, the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob. You have struggled with God and with men, and you have won. So your name will be Israel." Wow. Meaning the Jewish God has lost a fight against Jacob. Ebusia. Enya ba wanka asemwe. Enya wanwa. We enya wanwa. Jacob. Isaac ba Jacob. One nyankopon ene nipa ekuntokwa. Ne Jacob we defeat nipa and we defeat nyankopon. Enya me na make out from the book. Abusia. Mami Sanka Chobio. Let me read it. Genesis chapter 32, the verse number 28 to the verse number 22 to 28. Don't go and say that Dakoba says God lost a fight. I'm just a reader. I am not the one who wrote the book. And yami na metro Bible no. Genesis 32, verse 22 to 28. Or say, that same night Jacob got up, took his 2 wives, his 2 concubines, that is Rachel and Leah, the 2 concubines, Bilhah and Zilpah. Okay, and his 11 children. Nasa tamno yenyawo Benjamin yenyawo no nti 11 children, and across the river Jabbok. After he had sent them across, he also sent all that he owed, but he stayed behind alone. Ntina ka Jacob mkwa. Okay. Then a man came and wrestled with him until just before daybreak. When the man saw that he was not winning the struggle, he struck Jacob on the hip, and it was thrown out of joint. The man said, "Let me go, daylight is coming." We cry to say nipa no sumasia de no nipa ne ye. Just the person doesn't like daybreak. Yanko yenime. "I won't unless you bless me," Jacob answered. "What is your name?" the man asked. "Jacob," he answered. Verse 28. Ahana Jiufuo mo Ghana, Jiufuo mo yasi afa na nyina. Ahana motie. Anyame na metro motora no. Tana ko na nyina metro. Verse 28. The man said, "You," that is you, Jacob, "you, your name will no longer be Jacob. You have struggled with God. God, oh, Jineke. You say Jacob has struggled with God and with men, and you have won. Jacob has struggled with God and with men, and Jacob always win the struggle. What? And yet money pack you Mayweather and almost Jacob a break his house records. Jacob struggle with God and with men and have won. Until Nipanas is son Jacob Nedi or say you have won, so your name will be Israel. That is Okufo. Israel means warrior. What you say? The name Israel. I will Hebrew cast almost say asene warrior. Until Jacob, yes, his son Nedi Jacob into warrior because Jacob has defeated God and men. Abusia, where you breaking news? What you say? Where you breaking news? Men kokasa e Dakoba naka. Genesis 32, the verse number 28. Jacob struggled with God and with men, and Jacob has won. Until Jacob oko unbeaten. Jacob na battles na ye unbeaten. Wow. Menya Jacob nipa o training na. Anka sanya kupo na Jesus kane ya bobo. Nti Jacob, if I get the trainer nipa o training Jacob no, yenya sa nipa na anka ne yeso yakọ sa train na bi. Kristo fo se enche Yesu besiamba. Kane Hey, Abuzia. Yen kasache. Why? Yen kasache. Memsan come up you. Genesis 32. Genesis 32 verse 28. The man said, your name will no longer be Jacob. You have struggled with God and with men, and you have won. So your name will be Israel.